welcome back to another Work-Life Diaries video. I'm Rachel. If you're new here, I just wanted to chat with you for a minute, welcome you to the new vlog. I'm getting lunch ready, that's why I have my summer apron on, but there's air conditioners running in almost every room because it is really humid, and I wanted you to be able to hear me with all the background noise. So if you still hear it, I apologize, but it's that season, it's that time of year. It's June 9th. We're about to start hopping right into summer. It's gonna get warm. If you're not new here, you know that I do not like heat. I don't like the warm weather. I'm not a big summer person. I like the cold, so I'm always cranking the air conditioner. So it's that time of year where it's gonna be hard for you to hear me with background noise, or I'm gonna have to grab my microphone or go somewhere that doesn't have an air conditioner running. But anyway, welcome to the vlog. This week I am really focusing on recovering from burnout and getting back into a routine. If you've been watching my last couple videos or looking at my YouTube community tab, sorry, Toulouse like jumped up on this counter over here and was like headbutting the hand that has the camera, which is why I'm moving around right now to like make sure he doesn't hit my hand. Anyway, so yes, you might see a cat tail coming into frame. If you've seen my last couple videos or my YouTube community channel, I mentioned that my grandmother passed away, and it was less than 3 months after her husband, my grandfather, died, and I was having a very hard time. I was dealing with grief. I was feeling just depressed, sad. There was a lot of things going on at work. There was a lot of things to do here at home. Felt like I was really behind, like I needed to get caught up, and I was very much in survive mode and not thriving. So I'm doing a 75 soft challenge. I have videos out about that. I didn't do that for 26 days, so I started getting back into that. It was just hard to get back into the routine of things. So now that all that has passed, my grandparents aren't like suffering in pain anymore, and there's not as much going on in my family life with family emergencies and things like that, I'm going to try to settle back into working on YouTube, doing stuff at home, having fun, doing things I love to do, and working my full-time job. I just really felt like it was all a lot at once. There was actually some issues with leaks in the apartment, not necessarily in our apartment, but in our building. We've had some really terrible storms, a lot of rain. I was just outside and noticed that there is a fungus growing on my dirt in my herb garden because of all the rain and humidity we've been having. So there's just been like a lot of things happening. I was just really feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, sad, burnout, all the things. And so I'm trying to get back into routine. I'm trying to get back into romanticizing my life, doing things for myself, enjoying things, having fun, taking breaks, not being like, I just felt like even at work, I was just head down, hustle mode. And if you know me and you've been in these, like been on the channel long enough and watching my videos, that is not me at all. I don't like to do that. I like to have dedicated focus time, but also take time for myself and have balance. So that's what I'm trying to bring into this work week, and I am going to take you along with me. But I can tell that my timer is going off on the oven, so I'm gonna go get my food and I will chat with you later. So the workday is just about to be over, so I'm just finishing up doing a few other things. Originally, I went into my workday with not a lot on my plate, and then I found an issue with the project I was working on, and I spent probably 3 or 4 hours trying to fix this one problem that still isn't resolved yet, which led to some frustration. So after work, I'm going to probably go into my bedroom and just like lay down and do some deep breaths. We do not have an air conditioner in my office / living room yet, so it's really hot in here. So I'm hot. I want to go in my room where there's air conditioning and cool off a little bit and just decompress, because today ended up being more frustrating than I expected, and that's not good for me trying to come out of burnout. So I'm just going to like deal with it, find ways to calm down, and then go about my evening. I also have to start work an hour early tomorrow at 8 a.m. because we have a special thing going on. So I'm gonna have to wake up at 5:30 to get my exercise in, get showered, dressed, ready, breakfast. I have time to do my own thing in the morning. So I'm gonna have to go to bed early tonight, which I didn't realize until this morning either. So that's okay though. And then Wednesday, of course, I wake up at 5:30 anyway to go into the office. So we're just gonna have 2 early days. I am gonna try to take you along more of like after and before work. I realized that I kind of just started cutting off the camera once work was done. I think that's because I feel like I'm rushed because now I have all this stuff to do. And when I was doing the unemployed diaries, I took you through like most of my day because it was very relaxed. I was on my own time schedule and there wasn't like a need to rush. So I'm going to try to be more mindful about showing you like my whole week because I think that's important because obviously there's more to life than just work. So yeah, but I probably won't check in with you until maybe later tomorrow or Wednesday night or something like that. But yeah, I will chat with you then.
Let's go, let's stop toy.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear the background noise, but there's currently a work crew outside of our building ripping up the street. I don't know, maybe you'll be able to hear that because there's a water main break. So we have no water. They said it's going to take 7 hours. I have a gallon of distilled water, so I'm going to use this to brush my teeth. But so far, my week of wanting to like kind of have a chill week and like try to stay balanced and like get things done and be productive. There's just, I keep getting wrenches thrown in. Like things just keep happening, but that's life. So I'm just going to go with it and we're going to make the best of it. We're not going to look at this as like a bad thing. It happens, luckily. Always keep a gallon of water. You never know. I hate having water in plastic, but you never know what's going to happen. So I'm on my lunch break. I am heating up food. We still don't have water. So I am going to make a salad with just mozzarella burrata balls and some salad and avocado. I have a cucumber in there and I have blueberries and blackberries, but they're not washed. I don't have water to wash them, so the salad's going to be a little boring. I'm just using what I already have. That's already washed, that's already cut up. Hopefully the water comes back on sooner than 7 hours, which is like 4:30-ish. So that way I can do my usual thing that I do with water, like wash the dishes, wash my hands. That'd be nice. On top of the water situation, this is the 3rd day in the row that we have had a power surge, and it's not enough to completely kick all of my power out. This light up here will flicker and then it completely rips my internet off. And the washer that's in the basement, which is on a separate line because we live in an apartment building, it messes with that as well. And my internet got kicked out today. Now the washer's back to not working. My landlord can't even get here because the street's blocked off because of the water main break. I wasn't planning on washing clothes today, but my neighbor was, and so she's not going to be able to do that. And it's just like all the things. So I'm going to have to call the electric company and let them know the whole house is experiencing it. It's not just an individual apartment. And there's a lot of hammering and noise outside of my window, and I have a hard time focusing with a lot of loud drilling, hammering noises. It's been fun. I went into this week expecting things to be very like chill and try to like kind of have like a calmer vibe to this week, and so far that's just not happening. But I know, I think I said that earlier, so I'm just trying to make the best of what's going on and try to like get back in my routine. I'm not going to let these little wrenches, these little things happening to get me down again. I'm going to stay focused. I'm gonna keep moving. Yeah, so I'm gonna heat up my lunch and I'm gonna eat and then go back to work. Okay, so here's my slightly bland salad without a lot of toppings. So it's the end of the day, and because I started work an hour early, I ended up being done an hour early, so I just worked on a YouTube video. It should be out by the time you see this. It's the second episode of the 75 Soft Challenge. Now I am going to get ready for the in-office day tomorrow, take a break. Our water came back on, so now I can wash the dishes. But I do have a checklist for Tuesday nights prior to going into work. I call it my work checklist. One of the first things on that list is to charge these so I can use them in my meetings. So I'm going to do that. And I might go outside. I just need to like get out of this room, take a break from like work mode before I go wash dishes and hard boil my egg for tomorrow and all that stuff. So I will take you with me. I probably won't talk to you till Thursday, but I will see you then. Did you get your berries? You just love strawberries.
Spread your arms and then your pulses. To the side. Good job. One more. And more.
Version. If you have good salespeople or bad salespeople, straight in, but a nice mixture of the two of them.
Hey guys, so it is time for our cozy productivity moment, which is just a recap at the end of the video where I give you a tip, a trick, some inspirational advice, a little nugget of knowledge just to make your life better, make your work life more enjoyable, and just to share some things that have really helped me make a difference in my life. And I want to give my knowledge to you. As you can see, I have Yingling joining me. She's hanging out here at the desk. And this week's video was really just me trying to get back into a routine and get back to kind of like having a chiller life and schedule. And obviously a few things got in my way, but for the most part, I was able to do that. And so I just wanted to share a few pieces of advice that I have for you that can help you get back into a routine, get back to your life after burnout, after being overwhelmed, after going through a really rough time. So I have them written down here in my little notebook. So we're just going to talk through them really quick. So one of the first things you can do to help you get back into a routine after burnout is to connect with nature. And this is something that I definitely did the past week. I went outside, I watched the animals, the squirrels. We have quite a lot of big fox squirrels. I call them the Weasleys after Harry Potter. And they just run around and do silly stuff, and checked out my flowers. And I always try to go outside every single day, regardless of how hot it is, if it's snowing, if it's raining. There's just something about nature that feels really, really calming. And I know it's not just me. There's a lot of research and studies to back this up. So I think if you can just take some time outside, maybe sit outside, read a book, maybe go for a little walk, or even just hang outside, sit around, pull up a chair and just not do anything, unwind, take a break from technology. Don't take your phone with you and just kind of observe your surroundings. Kind of helps you to feel grounded and maybe take you away from all the things that were overwhelming you, causing you stress, and causing you to burn out. So my next suggestion is to eat wholesome foods. So when I was kind of like going through everything and in that survive, not thrive mode that I've talked about quite a few times on my channel over the last couple months, I was really struggling to find time to cook my food or meal prep or do anything like that. Or I would plan on doing it and I had food, I had meats, vegetables, fruits, all that type of stuff, and I would plan to do it, and by the end of the day I was so tired and exhausted and just feeling so down that I didn't end up cooking because I was not mentally or physically capable of pushing myself through it. So I think that once you're starting to kind of come out of a rut, coming out of burnout, it's important to start nourishing your body again. That way your body's taking in the nutrients, the minerals, the things that we need to have energy, the things that we need to feel good. So I think that is something that's important to focus on. You don't have to go crazy with it and dive in all at once. Just making sure you get some vegetables, hydrating, some fruits, things like that, just to give your body the energy that it needs. So the next one is to get some movement in. And since I've been doing 75 soft, if you've seen those videos, obviously I've been moving every day. That's one of my goals, is to get in intentional movement every day, regardless of whether that's taking a walk, strength training, doing a dance, YouTube video, yoga, stretches, whatever it may be. And I think that really did help get me through some of these really hard months. And I know that there was like a period where I didn't work out for 26 days because it was just everything was so crazy. And then when I started doing it again, it just felt so good to give myself time to be with my body, to honor my body, to be in that moment. It was feeling like kind of special time that I had just with myself without any other distractions, to focus on my breathing, to focus on different parts of my body and how those body parts were feeling, and just being really connected with myself physically. And so that was really beneficial for me. And I think even if you're just doing some stretches or like maybe a 10-minute yoga sesh, going for a walk outside where you could get the nature and the movement 2-for-1 special there, I think that can really help get you out of a rut, get you out of burnout and back into feeling good and productive and getting back to like your regular self, whatever that may be. So the next one is to treat yourself. So treating yourself may look different depending on what you like or what you're into. This week, my way to treat myself was I took time out of work. I took a 15-minute work break and I made myself an iced latte. That was the only iced latte I had that week, and I took time, I filmed it. It was kind of fun to just be my own little barista and have a yummy drink to get me through the rest of the workday on Thursday. So that was fun. However, this may look different for you. It might be going out and buying that book that you've been thinking about, the book that's on your TBR that you haven't purchased yet. Maybe it's picking up a bouquet of flowers at the grocery store when you're getting groceries. Maybe it's going out and having someone make you a coffee, or going out and getting yourself a really nice dinner instead of ordering takeout and eating junk food because you've been so tired and stressed that you haven't been cooking either, just like I was. Maybe it's getting something that's on your to buy list, a piece of jewelry, a top, whatever it may be, to treat yourself. You don't even have to buy anything. Treating yourself could be going exploring in your area, or hanging out with your friends, or just doing whatever you like, something that you don't always do, but when you do, it feels special. So that's going to be different for everybody, but that was definitely something that I did this week with making my latte. It is like a brown sugar shaken espresso type deal, and so that's my favorite latte to make. It's so easy, it's my go-to. So that's what I made this week. The next one is to learn something or do something for your mind. Maybe you're not into learning. I love learning. I'm very passionate about it. I'm a lifelong learner. It's something that I put on my goals, not only personally but also my career and work goals as well. So this week I signed up last minute for a 2-week program from Girls in Marketing. If you are not new here, you might be like, oh, that sounds familiar. And that's because I did their internship last August, and they had a new program called the Digital Marketing Growth Program that was 2 days each week for 2 weeks, and there was quite a few sessions. Can't remember exactly how many there were. So I signed up for that, and between my working my full-time job and having some extra time in the evenings or before work, I was able to attend those, and I learned a lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff that I think that I am going to apply to this channel. It was really fun. The vibes were great. I made a lot of really good connections, talked to a lot of really cool people, and ended up getting invited to a LinkedIn marketing group that someone was inspired to make because they were in this session. So I've been kind of chatting with people there and trying to be active in that. So that was fun. So that just made me feel like I was getting back to myself. I am a bit of a type A person. I try to network, I try to learn, I try to enhance my skills, not only just for my career, but for my YouTube channel and just to better myself in general. So that really felt like very classic Rachel, to learn something and chat with people and be on these webinars and sessions. So that was a really good thing for me to do, to get myself out of a rut and back into my flow and pattern and routine. So last but not least, this is probably the funnest one in this entire list, is to watch a comfort show. And my comfort show of choice was Gossip Girl. I think I am on season 5 or 6, whatever season it is where Dan and Blair are together. So I'm nearing the end. The last couple seasons are definitely not my favorite, so I haven't been watching it as much as I normally do for the first couple seasons. I kind of just keep going episode after episode, but I like to put that on in the background when I'm cooking, washing the dishes, when I'm getting ready for bed at night, if I don't feel like listening to silence. So it's just kind of nice to have something that you've already watched maybe like 20 times in the background, because you already know what's going to happen. You already know the whole plot, but it's just kind of nice to have that. So to fill like the void, so you're not overthinking about things, you're not letting your like obsessive thoughts or mulling over things that maybe were causing you to be in a rut or in burnout to begin with. It's kind of a nice distraction, but since it's something you've already watched, it's not too distracting that you can't completely focus. So that's something that I recommend as well. Or maybe if you don't have a comfort show, maybe putting on some chill lo-fi music or putting on an audiobook of one of your favorite books that you've already read and you're just listening to it again for the 20th time, because I think I've probably watched Gossip Girl. I probably watch it every single year. I've seen it many, many times at this point. I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my other work-life diaries video. Thank you so much for watching. Your support always means so much to me, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.